everyone, Radhe Radhe. This video we're going to be doing chapter 8 verse 4, and here Bhagwan Shri Krishna is answering Arjun's questions that he had asked in 8.1. He had asked 7 questions in 8.1 and 8.2, and 8.3 and 8.4 he has been answering them. So he's answering 3 answers right now. And it was quite surprising to me. I didn't know any of this. So let's sing the verse together and let's explore it. The commentaries of both of them explain really well. Okay. Adhibhutam ksharo bhavah purushashchadhidevatam adhiyagyohamevatra dehe deha bhritamvara. Okay, the translation is, O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature which is constantly changing is called Adhibhuta. The universal form, so the material, the physical nature, the material is called Adhibhut, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes demigods like those of the sun and moon, is called Adhideva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied living being, am called the Adhiyagya, the Lord of Sacrifice. Okay, so I'm going to explain the things that were surprising to me. I didn't know any of this. So I'm going to explain it. But let's do the word by word first, and then I'll get to the explanation. So Adhibhutam, the physical manifestation, Ksharaha, constantly changing, Bhava, nature, Purusha, okay, so the constantly changing bhav of the Adhibhutam is the constantly changing nature. Purusha, the universal form, including the demigod, sun, moon, etc. Cha is Adhidaivam. Okay, and then Adhiyagya, the super soul, which is the super soul, he's translating it, but Adhiyagya is I in this body of the embodied best. I am the Adhiyagya, Deha Bhritam of the embodied. Vara is a sweet way, he's talking to him, oh best. Okay, so what this means now we have heard about 3 aspects of the Lord, right? Brahman, which is like the sunshine, Paramatma, which is like the super soul, which is God sitting in our hearts, every single living being's heart, not just human beings, but every single living being's heart. Paramatma or super soul is sitting in the heart of that. And then Krishna is Bhagwan. Bhagwan is the ultimate, like he's the sun. So so I didn't know that the super soul was called Paramatma, and Adi Yagya is also called the Paramatma. So here the Bhagwan word is not there. It's the Adi Yagya has been addressed as that. And the Brahman and all of that, this is different words, but except like so it's not Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, that categorization here. It's a material world which is called Adhibhut, and which is flickering, temporary. Parthivaras, yeah, that's the word that I was looking for. Last Saturday, I attended a Gita class where they talked about Parthivaras, which is like Prithvi. Prithvi means earth. So Parthivaras comes from there. Basically, anything that we enjoy, ras means taste. So anything that we enjoy in the material world, like the money and the power and the feeling of like, oh, I'm so cool and people love me and that kind of thing, all of that is material, and that comes from Parthivaras. It's called Prithvi, from Prithvi. So that is called Adhibhut. Now Adhidaiv, so it is created at certain point, it will be annihilated at certain point. Okay. Now the Adhidaiva is so this is what was surprising to me, is his universal form. So his universal form is the one that has all the sun and the moon and all of that kind of stuff. That is called Adhidaiv, Adhidaivata. Dev means demigods. So basically, Dev, like Dev in Sanskrit, Dev in Hindi. So Dev is the demigods and their different planets, and that's called Adhidev. And then Adhiyagya is the plenary super soul, plenary representation of Krishna or Paramatma. Adhiyagya is situated in the heart. So eva word means certainly, and I've just always ignored that word. I've never felt like it means anything specific. It's just also, or cha is also, but eva means certainly, and I've never really been able to understand that word. But apparently here it's very important, because the Lord stresses that Paramatma is not different from him. And the super soul is seated beside the individual souls, the witness of all the individual soul's activities, and free. I mean, it gives freedom, right? So he will send the rope down for us to hang on to. Krishna is always looking at us and watching to see when we're going to be turning towards him, and he's always sending the rope to us, but he's giving us total free will. We can attach to it if we want to, we can hold on to it and get pulled up by Krishna, or not. It's up to us. So free will. And then the Adhidaiva, okay. So the Virat Purush, basically the universal form, the legs are considered the lower planets, eyes are considered sun and moon, and whose head is considered upper planetary system. I don't understand this at all, but okay. Because I feel like there are many different universes, and so how does this whole thing work with many different universes? I don't know the answer to that. But anyways, Adhidaiva is the Virat Purush. Adhidaiva is the universal form. And the sun and the moon and all of that. And Adhi Yagya, Yagya means sacrifice. So Adhi Yagya is the Paramatma, and then Adhi Bhut is the material world. Okay, let's go to Swami Mukundanand. So he says very similar things basically. Adhibhut is this ever-changing universe, the physical manifestation of which is earth, water, fire, air, and space, ether. And then the Devtas, God has sovereignty even over the Devtas. He's the Virat Purush who encompasses the material creation. So he's called Hadidev. And then the Supreme Soul or Paramatma dwells in the heart of the living beings of the universe. And he is the one who bestows the reward for all of our actions, of all of our yagyas. Therefore, he's called Adi Yagya, Lord of all sacrifices. So when we do any yagya, we should be doing it for Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Krishna, or Paramatma. And the way we can do that is one of, like what Prabhupada says, is by chanting. One of the best yagyas is to chant the holy names: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And so that way we'll be removing the 30 miles of coverings that we have, that Shikshashtrakam talks about. Okay, so I mean, it doesn't talk about 30 miles of covering, but it talks about Cheto Darpana Marjanam, which is cleansing the mirror dust on the mirror, which is from somewhere else. I've heard that it's 30 miles. Okay, so Bhagwan Shri Krishna has answered 6 questions out of the 7, and the next verse he will answer about the moment of death question. Okay, that's it for this verse. We'll do chapter 8, verse 5 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots of spiritual growth. Radhe Radhe.